Welcome to the Too Much to Say podcast, where we have too much to say. It is July 28th, 2018, 8:30 p.m., and you are listening to the sports edition of Too Much to Say. Tonight, we're going to be breaking down the Fortnite Summer Skirmish, Week 3, some Major League Baseball trades and recent Hall of Fame inductions, and the basketball tournament, a.k.a. Jimmer Mania 1.0001. We're going to go ahead and first jump off into the Fortnite content because, well, as usual, Fortnite keeps it spicy every week. This past week, we had a brand new patch that we'll call Happy Birthday to Fortnite, but it was patch 5.10, and they released a brand new epic and legendary SMG called the Compact SMG. And I have never seen something get nerfed so quickly in this game. Epic Games usually doesn't do hot fixes, but this one happened about one day after 5.10 came out. It was basically just ridiculous. It has a 50 bullet capacity magazine, and it was just shredding both people and walls. And on this same patch, they just nerfed the strength of basically every type of wall. So to combine the two together, where we had this SMG just ripping through the walls and lowering the health of the walls, it was it was pretty rapid, but I was also pretty every streamer for Fortnite was just freaking out about it. Posting videos of them slaughtering or getting slaughtered by the epic and legendary compact SMGs. But it's nerfed and it's a lot more balanced. The other big change for patch 5.10, other than a nerf to the building materials, is that the slurp juice, that's the purple, that's the epic shield, epic juice or epic potion that you can drink. It used to give you 25 shield and 25 health when you drank it. And it still does that, but if you are already full, let's say you have 100 health and 50 shield, it will just give you 50 shield. If you're at 50 shield and 50 health, it's going to give you 25 shield, 25 health. It will try to give you that 25-25, but if you are already full, then it's going to go ahead and fill you up on whatever you're missing. Be that health or be that shield. But, and another piece of this patch is they are bringing the solo showdown back. It is actually on right now. This solo showdown, that is how you become, either become a famous streamer, or you can win the solo showdown, place in the top 10, and you will not only win V-Bucks, which is obviously in-game currency, but you will also possibly get invited to the Summer Skirmishes, which are $250,000 to $500,000 Fortnite tournaments. And we actually had one this weekend. We're in week 3 of the Summer Skirmishes, and they're doing a solo showdown so that you can earn your way onto possibly the next one. This will go from July 27th, so yesterday, to July 30th. And the way this works is you need to go play 25. Your first 25 matches of the solo showdown count towards your point total. You get, if you win the game, you'll get 100 points plus 6 points per kill. And depending on where you place, you get a different amount of points. I think it's actually kind of random. You'd have to get the full breakdown. I think the first 25, so if you place between 75 and 100, you're going to get like 25 points. And then it's like 5 points for 50 to 75, or you'll get 30 points for 50 to 75, and it keeps going up 5 points every 10, I think, after that. And then there's some stuff that happens between 1 and 10, but basically the goal here is to place high and get kills. I mean, a good performance, essentially. Um, my one suggestion, and this is completely random and has nothing to do with this patch, but my one suggestion is I would love to see in Fortnite a solo snipes. This is game mode. A game mode suggestion would be solo snipes, no building. I know it's everything that's against, that Fortnite is getting rid of that building. But I would love to. I mean, I remember playing Halo, and I loved the all snipes mode. But you can't do it if you can build. Like, then you just get people building towers and then doing their little peak thing. If you couldn't build and all you had were sniper rifles, and I don't mean like the last time they did snipes where you had um your AR, the scoped AR. You had scoped AR. You had um the the BA, the one that has iron sights essentially, and then you have the sniper rifles. I'm just saying we only do the the iron sight snipers, the two sniper rifles. No um no ARs, no other type of rifle, just the sniper rifles, and no building. I think it'd be I don't know. I'd love it. I love sniping. So, and not that that needs to be a competitive mode, just a fun mode, which they do fun modes all the time. So it'd be better than 50v50, which is, I mean, it's a way to complete your challenges. Everything but the squad challenges, it's a way to complete. So got that going for it. It's probably the easiest way to complete some of the chest challenges because your team's not generally doing that. Or if they are, they at least won't kill you for going after it. I remember when they had the one up in Risky, and that was trying to do that in competitive was impossible. But you dropped into 50v50 and it was easy. So there are pros to the 50v50. I mean, they keep it around enough, so it must be popular. All right, well, into the summer skirmish. This week was they dubbed it the race for the crown. This is, in my opinion, the best format they have done yet. It was a duos tournament, joint lobby, so they had 50 duos in a custom lobby. And the way it worked is they played a max of 10 games, but it was the first team to 13 points. But the way you get points is either 4 points for winning a match or 2 points for having 5+ kills. So if you got if you won the game and had 5+ kills, you would get 6 kills or 6 points. Sorry. If you killed 5 people and died rank 70, you still got 2 points. And whoever had the most kills at the end of a game got 60. That duo got $6,500, but no extra points. Which I really like that. I like that they did just a money thing instead of more points. Last week you got if you got 20 points or 20 kills, and it was the solo. So if you got 20 kills, you got 10 extra points and some cash, and I don't know, it was too much essentially. It was the person was benefiting too much for getting 20 kills. You were already getting a point per kill, so it was 35. It would have, if you got 20 kills and you won, it was 35 points, and that was just ridiculous. So I like this better. And I believe, at least in NA, the way they did it is because last time, so week 1 was a joint lobby, week 2 was solos, and then this week was joint lobby again. And at least in NA, when I was listening to some of the streamers, they were dropping out of the match after the game, after they died, after both teammates died, to avoid that incredible lag that week one was just ruined by. But I'll say this: they fixed that. I mean, there was server lag. There's always lag. This is I mean, it's over the internet. So that happens. But but they did manage to reduce that a lot. It didn't. It wasn't ruined by lag this time. So that was very much appreciated. Let me shift myself over here 1 second. All right. So so this was again broken into 2 days. Day one was North America. Day two was Europe, and I think that's probably what they did last week. I didn't realize it. Like I said, I've been very disappointed with Epic's um, ability to market their tournament and make everyone know that it's coming. And I feel like it's primarily been by the streamers who are participating. But I mean, I just want to know more. Like I said, we should know right now what week 4 is going to be. I guess they spend the whole week working on it, trying to figure it out. I mean, the results been good. I've enjoyed the summer skirmishes, so there's that. I'd like to know more about it. I'd like to know if it was going to be 2 days or 1 day. It looks like 2 day might be the thing going forward. I wish they'd shift it to like Saturday, Sunday, and we can get Friday night Fortnite back again. I still like that format better than this format that they've done yet. I like this. I like the joint. Um, I like the more kill centric, and that's. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, so here are our results from Friday night. I guess that's one positive. Doing Friday Saturday, I can actually talk about what happened. So Friday night, what I think is really compelling, what's interesting. First off, you're going to see no Ninja on this top 20, but that's also because he didn't participate. I don't know if Epic made him mad. I'm just kidding. He's over in Germany, but he has missed like the last 2 weeks doing different things. Or I guess he missed week 1 and week 3. I think that's right. What I really like about this tournament, though, is I do feel like we're getting to see some different people really step up and shine. Um, and I don't know what really is so different about Friday night Fortnite tournaments versus the summer skirmish, because if you look on this top 20, you won't see Tfue and Cloaksy, and they actually got to participate together this week, but they didn't even place top 20. I think they're like 22 or something like that. But I mean, they were consistently top 3 of the Friday night Fortnite tournament, that duos slay out tournament, and I think that I think they need to. This is a completely different paradigm. What you're doing here. Um, with this, and because every week changes, strategies change, and I think some strategies benefit others. Honestly, I know this one did give you 2 points for having 5 kills. It's still like it still felt so turtley. People wanted to turtle so hard to try to get the win because it's worth twice as many points. It's not like if you got 10 kills, you got 4 points, so 2 points per 5. No, it was just you got 5 plus kills, that's 2 points. So like I think because the players are so good that again, it needs to be more kill centric. We're going to talk about that after we talk about these results. But we're going to see Energy's Zayat and SKT Saf. I don't know if they're actually affiliated with those two teams. Maybe NRG, but I don't think SKT. But congratulations to them finishing this with 16 points, which basically means they had 10 points going into the final game. This actually went the full 10 games before the game ended. And you see we had 2 people break the threshold of 13 points. but Energy Zayat and Saf did it better. What that means is they went in at the end. I guess they could have gone in with 12, or they could have gone in with 10 and gotten the 6 points or the 4 points. But at the end of the day, they got 2 more points than Hezi and Bizzle, even though they both broke 13 points. I'll tell you, I think well, first off, you'll see a big difference between the Friday Night Fortnite and the Summer Skirmish. I mean, we got some of our high performers. I mean, if you look at this, you've got you got Lupo coming in 20th, getting into the money. We got Parallax in 19th. Daquan coming in 16th. If you look, there's no Myth. There's no Hamlins. They're not in the top 20. Hysterio and High Distortion coming in 16th. Let's see who else. Who else do we have in here? Tempo still ripping it up in Fortnite, the Summer Skirmish, and here coming in 5th. And then we've got Liquid Chapin, Liquid 72 Hours. 72 Hours was very good in the Friday Night Fortnite tournament, and coming in 3rd. So he's still ripping it up. So obviously the skills translate. It's just a different beast. We're gonna talk about that right after. That was Friday night. That was day 1. Let's talk about day 2, which was today. This was the European. I'll be honest, I don't know like any of these people. Not any. There's some people in here, but it's just not nearly as many like big names, I guess. But what was really the heartbreaker for this European tournament was for Flexi and Hate 1K. I don't know how to pronounce the person's name, but who came in 2nd. But they spent basically more than half of the tournament in 1st place. They won games 3 and 4 and had 10 points. And then they had 6 or I guess they went 9. This went 9 games instead of 10. So they had 5 games where all they needed was 4 more points. So they could have just finished with 5 kills or higher twice, or won 1 more game. Which winning the game is harder, but they couldn't do it. And we had Mitra Magin of Atlantis basically just close it out. They won 3 games. They won game 5, game 8, and then game 9. Back-to-back wins, slamming the doors shut, finishing with 14 points. With Flexi and Pat 1K finishing with 12 points. They did finally get back on the board in that final 9th game with 2 points, but not enough to get that tie or the W. That went to Mitro and Imagine. So congratulations to our winners this week. I mean, you going home with the money, getting that 60,000 for getting the W. And I mean, like I said, I love the Summer Skirmish. I wish we were still getting Friday Night Fortnite, but I still love what Epic's doing here, because it really, they're pushing the envelope. They're pushing towards Fortnite and a battle royale format actually being an esport, which is exciting because PUBG failed, absolutely failed at that. Never worked. But I do feel like Fortnite is making some progress in that direction. All right, now what we could do better. I love what you're doing. What we could do better. We still need to go harder on kills. These tournaments still focus so hard on that win. I mean, winning was 4 points. And you're always going to have a winner. It's not like nobody is going to win. It's not impossible to win, but that person, I mean, you could end the game with 1 kill because you just turtled and then you get 4 points. I mean, that's not even what you do in your solo showdown. Kills are worth 6 points. And like at the beginning of the game, I mean, unless you survive, if you survive, you know, if till the end of the game, you're gonna get an extra 60 points. That's 5 kills. Like getting 90 points from placement, but 5 kills is worth 30 points. Oh, I guess but it's worth like kills are worth so much more in the solo showdown than they are here. So I'm gonna reiterate what I said last week, but I have added something. So what I think it should be, like I said, winning's still worth too much. I do want points for winning. I'd be first place, 3 points. Second place, 2 points. Third place, 1 point. But each kill you get would be worth 1 point. And every 5 kills you get is worth an extra 2 points. So if you score 5 points, or sorry, you get 5 kills, that's 7 points. If you get 10 kills, that's 14 points. But if you get 9 kills, that's 11 points. So a little bit extra bonus for getting, every 5 you get, but not the drastic 10 or anything like that. Because people were, they're just trying. Honestly, I think that's what went wrong for Flexi and Pat 1K, Hate 1K, is that they seemed like, I know in at least a couple of those games, they were just turtling. They knew they needed 4 points. So they were just sitting there trying to hold out. They couldn't get them, obviously, because they lost. But they were holding out, trying to get that. Trying to get it. They're just sitting around waiting. And that's boring. Well, and all these games are lasting until the circle starts to close. I love that the circle moves. I think that's a huge. If it wasn't like that, it'd be worse. But I just want to see people going for it. I want to see people going for those kills. I mean, winning's still 3 points. That's 3 kills. Like, there's only. I mean, in a solo game, like, an amazing score is 20 points. I mean, I think the most kills we saw in the European, so in Saturday's games, were, I think, 10. So 3 points, that's a lot. That if they had won, they would have gotten 13 points. But 3 kills makes up for for 3 kills you didn't get. Like, that's huge. I just feel like Epic doesn't quite understand what the significance of points. I mean, we saw that last week where 20 kills was worth an extra 10 points. Let's just put it this way. I don't think Epic would make a great board game maker. Because in board games, like Euro games specifically, points are just so precious. Like basically, what they needed to have done. Maybe they just didn't understand how many points, how many kills people generally get in solo games, which is somewhere between 7 to 10 when you're really good, and generally between 7 and 10. And 20 is amazing, but to put it in perspective, if you got 7 to 10 points, let's say you just got 10 kills, you get 10 points plus 5 if you win. All right, that's a dang good. That's a really good game. A 10 kill win is worth 15 points. A 20 kill win was worth 35 points. Those 10 kills that team got were basically useless. Like, they might as well have not gotten them because you got all of their kill points in a bonus for getting 20. And I feel like that's what we're seeing here is wins were worth 4 points. That's worth it's worth 2, there's only 10 games. So win is worth getting 5 kills in 2 different games. That's worth holding out for. and people did that. I would rather see a more aggressive game going for the kills. I mean, you still have to stay alive. It's not like just because kills are number one means that you're getting a free pass and not trying to move up. But you still have to stay alive to get those kills. So I don't know. I would love to see it. I'd love to see a solo. Oh, that's another thing. I want to see a joint lobby with solos, and I want to see joint lobby squads. We haven't had a single squads tournament. We've had 3 tournaments. It went duos, solos, duos. I would love to see, obviously, joint lobby solos. That's 100 people. That would be spicy. Just that would be awesome. But I'd also be very interested to see squads. Now, squads, you have to make kills more valuable. In duos, you can't turtle as much, but in squads, you can. Yeah, that would be awesome, though. I'd love to see a squads tournament. You'd have to actually tell people earlier. That way they can get their squad together and practice up a little bit. But I would love to. I'd um, love to see some squads. So some tournament squads. I don't think we've had a single squads tournament. We've had a lot of duos, thanks to the Friday Night Fortnite. Nerd Out did their Anything Goes tournament, and we've had 2 duos from Summer Skirmish, 1 solos tournament. Yeah, 1 solos tournament, and then 0 squads. Love to see squads. Oh yeah. Also, I really like. I've enjoyed. I think I really enjoyed the commentators. I've enjoyed them a lot more. Week 1 was weak. The commentators just didn't seem like they knew that much about Fortnite. The last 2 weeks we've had a Fortnite Pro step in. Hamlin's week 2. This week we had Courage. Much better job. I thought Hamlin's was a little better than Courage, but I did enjoy Courage as well. That's just partially preference. I just thought, yeah, I like watching Hamlin's more than Courage. But it was nice to see Hamlin's get back in, even though he fell out of the top 10. Productions definitely got better as well. I mean, going 4 screens wide, going 6 screens wide, doing picture-in-picture. You got two views of the same action. I think that's really cool. But what you're watching is the streams of the streamers, and that that's so amateur. That's so amateur. You guys have got to have an in-game observer. This is a custom lobby. You don't have to activate it for everything, but these custom lobbies need an in-game observer where you can just grab onto somebody and look and control what you see from their point of view, or even better, I mean, you already have this technology because it's already part of the recording. So if you go and watch a game after you've played, you can control this. Like you can have your camera lock on to you and then follow you around, but then you can have it detach and you can watch from above, or it can just detach and go anywhere. That's what we need. That's what you guys need. You need that in-game observer. You also need an in-game scoreboard. Maybe you're waiting to kind of figure out what format you think's the best before you do that, but the scoreboard should be able to that shouldn't be that hard to recalibrate. Maybe implementing it, the initial scoreboard might be a little difficult, but recalibrating it to different scores should be relatively simple. It's just a calculator after all. But both the production crew would be able to see how everybody's doing without, constantly these people are like, well, the person we're watching has 2 kills. I don't know how much their duo partner has. Maybe if they have 3 kills, then that's 5 kills. Like, there's no reason that everything. Like, the game is keeping track of this. You have access to the behind the scenes data for the game. Make a scoreboard. that you guys can see, and also everybody else can see. It's a lot more compelling when people are like, ah, crap, these people have 3 kills. Or there's 7 kills. If I'm gonna get that $6,500, I gotta get 8. Like, or they can even see like who's alive. You can already see how many people are alive. Why not be able to see those names darken out? Like, I mean, I don't even know if they would do it. Like, I don't know if the players would do it because they hardly ever even tab out to see anything. But they would for sure, like your in-game, your production team would. They could you'd be able to have that over on the side and just see names just darken out, boom, 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 dropping, and you see it keeps have it constantly in order of who has the most kills, and then you just see names darken. Like, this is not that hard. Or, I mean, maybe the implementation is a little more difficult, but it's not that complex an idea here, and it would just improve the quality of your production immensely. Those two things, we need those two things. But anyway, that's the Summer Skirmish. I definitely recommend. And most likely the next one will be Friday night or Friday. It's like Friday afternoon it starts because it's 10 games. But next one will probably be Friday. I think they're pretty happy with this 2-game format because it gives an opportunity to have that North American game and the EU game. And I don't know. They seem pretty content with it. I don't blame them. I'd like them to move it to Saturday, Sunday. I want my Friday Night Fortnites back. And I mean, honestly, they really should anyway. Like, I know that they directly benefit probably from, well, maybe, I don't know if they do. Most Twitch channels for companies, I don't know if maybe they make money off of it. I don't know. But you're getting free advertisement every Friday night with having Friday Night Fortnite. And I need to update my rankings. Probably do some rankings next week for the Summer Skirmish. Now that once we get up to 4, that's a little more compelling. 3's not bad. Maybe I'll put something together for 3. Have that up by the time we do next week. But anyway, that is Friday Night Fortnite or Fortnite Summer Skirmish. Definitely check it out for every Friday and Saturday. It seems like we'll see if they change it up. See if they tell us that they're going to change it up. But let's go ahead and hop into Major League Baseball, just briefly, anyway. I mean, it just feels bad. Baseball was my love growing up. I loved baseball. I've always been an Atlanta Braves fan, and I went to Turner Field multiple times, played baseball, and I just can't bring myself to watch baseball all the time. Anyway, we had a couple of massive trades this week with Manny Machado, top like 2 or 3 shortstop in the league, getting traded from the Baltimore Orioles, coming over to the Los Angeles Dodgers for some basically for some prospects. But I mean, this is a huge deal. I mean, this is the Orioles basically admitting they're not gonna. I mean, this is them throwing in the towel, trying to tank, trying to get back. I mean, if you're not gonna win because their record is just dreadful, they are the bottom of the American League East, and so this is them basically just throwing the towel in, trying to rebuild their farm system. But the Dodgers are swinging for the fences. I mean, you sacrifice that many prospects to bring over basically a 1-year loan. No problem. I mean, they have the money to re-sign them, but you sacrifice all those prospects. You're trying to make the World Series, and I mean, quite frankly, I think it's a win-win. I mean, I really do. I think it's a big trade for Los Angeles, but I think that, as is kind of evident, they're playing my Braves this weekend, and they're just beating on them repeatedly. So it's depressing. But like I said, Machado's been just tearing it up for him, and they're what are they? They're 58 and 46, and ever since yes, I think his first game was against the Braves, and they're 2-0. They've already beaten us twice. Put up 8 runs and 4 runs, and of course my Braves don't make any moves at all. So that's guys. You already have you have your prospects. You have a great young team. Go. Why didn't we go after Manny Machado? Why didn't we give them that Godfather deal to try? The deal they can't deny. Like we have a great farm system. We have great players in the league right now. Why not try to go out there and grab us a five top five player? Yeah, at least this season. I mean, he's ridiculous. But anyway, that's being an Atlanta sports fan is hard. It's been since '95. It's been since '95. That was a good year. Good year. The other, I got the other big trade. I mean, Cole Hamels got traded to the Chicago Cubs for some prospects. I mean, he came over from the Texas Rangers. I mean, the Cubs. are always trying to get better. Ever since they, got Theo Epstein come over from Boston Red Sox, who is going to be a Hall of Fame GM thanks to breaking 2 different curses: the curse of the Bambino, and then the curse of the Chicago Cubs curse. I think it was 106 years or something. That's what's his name? Oh, the curse is longer than the guy anyway, so he doesn't need to have his name smeared. But I mean, 106-year drought for the Chicago Cubs. He broke two World Series, 2 championship droughts, and 2 of the largest teams in the major leagues. Like, come save the Braves. Come save the Braves. We will welcome you with. We'll throw a parade for you. um, and the other one was the New York Yankees traded for. They traded for the. Oh, they traded for I forgot that they traded. They've done multiple trades, of course, because the Yankees, they care. They actually have a good team for the first time in like 10 years, and they are going all in this season. And my goodness. Anyway, they traded for Baltimore's closer, and they traded for J.A. Happ, and now they're looking to maybe get Chris Archer over from the Tampa Bay Rays. I just would. What I saw, what made me flustered, was that the Braves are scouting Yankees Sonny Gray. I'll do your scouting report for you. He's awful. Don't you dare trade for him. Don't trade for garbage. Don't trade halfway. We could have gotten Manny Machado maybe. Like, go out for those players. Like, give up some of the farm system. Even if it's a big chunk, like we already have. We're already so young. Oh, Braves. Oh, Braves. This week we also had the Hall of Fame inductions announcements. And we had one of my favorite players of all time get inducted, and that's one of the reasons we're talking about it. Because I'm a huge homer when it comes to the Braves. But we have Chipper Jones, getting inducted to join Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz. It is a beautiful thing, despite the fact that the Braves only won one World Series in like at least 15-year run of making the playoffs. We not even making the playoffs. We won the National League East and only got one championship out of it. I mean, I know we're not the most tormented sports town, but there's just something painful about only winning one World Series in a 15-year stretch where you win your division. And by something, I mean literally everything about that is painful. I mean, I was 9 years old when we won the World Series. I have somewhere in my boxes the newspaper from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution of them winning. But we never did it again. The Yankees just, when we beat the Indians and then the Yankees just beat on us, and it didn't even, I mean, they were all-time great teams, the Yankees. I mean, the Braves, our team was fantastic too. We could, in many other years, we could have won the World Series. And our consistency was wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. Sucks to lose the World Series like 5 times. And it makes me sad. But anyway, so the other players getting for the Hall of Fame induction, we had Jack Morris, Alan Trammell, both of the Detroit Tigers, Vladimir Guerrero of multiple teams, but originally of Toronto. No, not Toronto. Sorry, my mistake. I apologize, Montreal. Of the Montreal Expos, but he played for a million teams after that. I believe he played for the Rangers, the Angels. I'll always remember him as an Expo because he was in the NL East and he was one of the best players in the league. But congratulations, Vlad. Also, Jim Thome of the Indians, primarily, just coming in with 613 dingers. What seems very legitimate, which is the reason he got elected to the Hall of Fame, no sweat, despite having fewer home runs than somebody like Barry Bonds. But also, one of the greatest closers of all time. I believe he's one of 2 closers in the Hall of Fame, and that is Trevor Hoffman, who I believe the MLB saves record. Okay, so he has this. It looks like he's number 2. Okay, number 1 is Mariano Rivera with the New York Yankees, who's the other closer in the Hall of Fame, and it's Trevor Hoffman. So Mariano Rivera has 652. Trevor Hoffman has 601, playing for the San Diego Padres. So, wait, is that? Oh, okay. So we have Trevor Hoffman. We've got Dennis Eckersley, Raleigh Fingers, Goose Gossage, and Bruce Sutter, all in the Hall of Fame as closers. We have all saves. Oh, I was like, wait, why is Mariano Rivera not inducted? Okay, he's just got a few more years. He retired in 2013, so he's not eligible quite yet. But congratulations to all the Hall of Fame inductees. All right. The last thing I wanted to talk about today is something called the basketball tournament. I'm not even sure if you've heard of this, but it is a $2 million 64-team semi-pro tournament that's happening right now. In fact, they're in the round of 16 of the 64 teams. So, today's round is 16. Tomorrow is the 8th. So they had 2 days of the 16. Anyway, it features old pros and former college stars/players. Lots of the teams are like Ohio State alumni, Gonzaga alumni, um, all the just like alumni teams. But they also have some just semi-pro players who I don't think they ever made the NBA. Maybe a lot of these players might have played overseas, but they have some just regular NBA players. None of the active NBA players are allowed to play in the tournament, I believe, because of their own contracts. But most of these are semi-pro. I mean, it's a semi-pro tournament anyway. But the reason I bring this up is really for one reason, because one of my favorite basketball players of all time actually went to BYU while he was playing at BYU, and that is Jimmer Mania, who is headed to the round of 8 because his team won yesterday. Oh, wow. I didn't. Hold on, give me a second here. But he is absolutely going ham in this tournament, just like he's always done in literally everything. Where's mine? There it is. All right. I got some stats. I got some stats to share here. So, my boy Jimmer is averaging 34 points per game on 51.67% shooting. And that's 40% three-point shooting. And that's really just because of one bad game. But first game around the 64, he scored 32 points. Round of 32, 30 points. And round of 16, just dropping bombs, going for 41 points. 6 of 11 from the three-point land. 13 of 12 from the field. Not to mention, he is 96.8% from the free throw line. And getting there at least 5 trips per game. And he's averaging 5.6 rebounds and 4.3 assists. He is going off. And all the haters out there trying to bring my man down, saying he shouldn't be in the NBA. I know this isn't the NBA, but if a man can drop 34 points a game against this semi-pro, against semi-pros, and he can go, what's he averaging over in China? Hold on. I gotta find this one. Jimmer stats China. There we are. My boy is just demolishing the Chinese league. I don't know if I'm able to find it. Just demolishing. I mean, he's already had a 70-point game. It's just I want him back in the league is what I'm trying to get at here. I need to see, this game is set up for him. Pull up threes, just draining from like half court. At the very least, you got to step out. I mean, he once he crosses half court, he is active. He can shoot threes. The fact that we haven't been able to work him back into the NBA is a travesty. And that's pretty much why I wanted to bring this up. If you are interested in watching, it is on ESPN3 primarily. I do think some of it's going to be on ESPNU as well. But if you have ESPN, you have access to ESPN3. It's just on on your computer. But that brings us to the end of the sports edition of Too Much to Say for the week of July 28th. If you like what you hear, please follow, like, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. If you prefer your dose of Too Much to Say in video form, then hit us up on YouTube, 2M2, we're youtube.com/2M2S, or you can just come here on twitch.tv/2M2S, and you can catch everything, review, all episodes are available. We're also live every Tuesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on twitch.tv as well. But please follow, like, subscribe. Hit us up with it. If you can, rate us, please give us 5 stars. Share it with your friends. If you want to follow me, I am on Twitter at RealSamShannon. I deliver spicy sports takes and also some good politics as well. Because as you know, here on Too Much to Say, we do both. Tuesday is generally, politics, culture. And in fact, this Tuesday we're going to be hopping back in on how to fix America. But if that politics isn't your thing, every Saturday, 8:30, we review the last week of sports. I'm sure we'll have more Fortnite next week. We're getting into the NBA and the NFL. The NFL season is coming. I will be doing a fantasy football edition of Too Much to Say. We'll talk about some stuff. At my office, I just got a league together, and if people are interested, we can put a league together just for Too Much to Say podcast listeners. Just if you're interested, hit me up in my DMs on Twitter at Real Sam Shannon. But that brings us to the end. I appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a great week. Hopefully you'll hear from me next Saturday or Tuesday, depending on your preference. I appreciate it. Bye. All right. Well, if you are actually in the chat, then feel free to. If you have any questions, I mean, what is this? I don't know. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. This is the best time to do it. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and log off and start getting this. I'm gonna start getting this. Get this thing uploaded. But I do appreciate your time. Peace.